Hello class, I welcome you to this session. This session is a continuation of debt to equity ratio series. Okay, so we are discussing the solvency ratio right now. That is the last ratio in your ratio analysis chapter. So solvency ratio, the first ratio is debt equity ratio. If you remember the formula, debt equity ratio is equal to debt divided by shareholders fund. Look here, debt divided by shareholders fund. So debt is always a long term debt. Equity or shareholders fund means share capital plus reserves and surplus. Share capital plus reserves and surplus. So when we are discussing the last problem, if you remember, due to some storage issues, I was not able to complete this problem. So I'll just complete now. So I'll just go through the problem for you to understand. Assuming that debt to equity ratio is 2:1, state giving reason whether this ratio will increase or decrease or will have no change in each one of the following cases. Okay. So now we have discussed this issue of bonus shares lastly. So now we are going to go about redemption of debentures of cash. Now look carefully. Redemption of debentures for cash. Suppose for example it is 10,000. Now we have debt to equity without this transactions into effect. Without this effect, we are having 1 lakh divided by 50,000. The existing ratio is 2:1. This is an imaginary figure. Okay, I am not taking anywhere. It's just I have imagined it. Why I have imagined 1 lakh divided by 50,000? Because it is 2:1. You can also take as 2 lakhs divided by 1 lakh. It has to come 2:1. That's all. It can be any figures, but it has to come as 2:1. Okay. So now is redemption of debentures for cash. What happens is that debt will become decreasing. So debt will be reduced to the extent of 10,000 because if we are repaying the debentures. So it will become 90,000 divided by 50,000. Obviously what happens, my ratio will be 1.8:1. So 1.8:1 is a reduction from the previous ratio. So previous ratio is 2:1. Now it is 1.8:1. So reduced. Now look into the next one. Conversion of debentures into equity shares. Now debentures, if I am taking as 1 lakh and equity shares are 50,000. Suppose for example, I will take rupees 20,000 worth of debentures, 20,000 worth of debentures converted into equity shares. What happens is that debentures will be converted into equity, which means debt is converted into equity. So there is a reduction in the value of debt, there is an addition in the value of equity. So 80,000 divided by 70,000, what is the ratio? Obviously the ratio will have an effect. So there is a change. So what is the change? It will become 1.14:1 from the previous ratio 2:1. So there is a reduction. There is a reduction in the ratio. There is a decrease in the existing ratio that you have to mention. Then declaration of final dividend. Now total shareholders fund has decreased by the amount of profits appropriated for dividend, but long term debts remains unchanged. Now if you declare dividend, what happens? You have to pay them. Upon the declaration of dividend by the company, the profit to the extent of dividend declared become a current debt. Now final dividend, what happens? They have to pay. Okay, so what has it becomes? It becomes current debt. So this is becomes debt divided by shareholders funds. So debt divided by shareholders fund is say for example, if debt is 1 lakh, shareholders fund is 50,000. If we are declaring the final dividend, what happens is that a part of this shareholders fund, either it can be accumulated profits or from reserves, general reserves, this dividend will be paid. Okay, so what happens? Suppose for example we are paying 10,000. This 10,000 will be minused from the existing shareholders fund and it becomes a current liability, current debt. So 10,000 will be added. So 1 lakh 10,000 divided by 40,000. So 1 lakh 10,000 divided by 40,000. So ratio will be increased. 2.75:1. So the ratio will increase. That should be your conclusion. I'm sure that you're able to follow what I'm trying to do. Declaration of final dividend. What is declaration of final dividend? They have declared in the board meeting that so much 10,000 worth of dividend should be paid to the equity shareholders. From where they will apportion the money? They will apportion from the accumulated profits or general reserve. So if you accumulated and profits or general reserve are part of shareholders fund. Now shareholders fund, they are part of it. Now if they appropriate to pay dividend, what happens? From 50,000 you need to deduct 10,000, and if you declare final dividend, one point of time you need to pay that. So that will be treated as current debts. So debts will be 1 lakh plus 10,000, that is 1 lakh 10,000 divided by 40,000. 2.75 is to 1. I'm sure that you're able to follow it. So now we are going to discuss a new ratio, a part of solvency ratio. First one was debt to equity. Now the second one is total assets to debt ratio. Total assets to debt ratio means total assets divided by long term debts. Now total assets means non-current assets and current assets. So basically it is the total assets, whatever assets that is being given in your balance sheet, the total assets is here. Long term debts means long term borrowings plus long term provisions. Long term borrowings and long term provision. Note that the current liabilities are not there. It is not there, but here current assets are there. So it is only long term debts. So this ratio measures the safety margin available for lenders of long term debts. So it is a relationship between it is a relationship between total assets and long term debts. If the total assets are more, long term debts are less, it is a very safe environment for debt providers. But if the debt is too high, that is if the debt is more than the total assets, it is a risky environment for debt providers. So we will discuss the analysis part. High ratio means higher safety for lenders to the business. Higher safety for lender to the business means high ratio. How will you get high ratio? If say for example, if the asset is 10 lakhs, if debt is only 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs divided by 5 lakhs, you will get 2:1. Okay, so this is a safety for because whenever they want some money, if the company is not able to pay the money of debt providers, it can sell off some assets and very well replace it to be paid to the debt providers. Okay, suppose if you just imagine this scenario, 5 lakhs is only the assets and 10 lakhs is the debt, long term debt. What happens? The ratio is 1:2. See, 5 lakhs divided by 10,000, the ratio is 0.5. 0.5 is to 1. So half of that, so 0.5 is to 1. So what happens is that whenever the debt holders need money, there is always an insecurity for them that whether they will get the full amount or no, because the total asset, if you see, it's only 5 lakhs. If they were sell the assets, they would be able to realize only 5 lakhs. So whether they will be able to pay this 10 lakh, the answer is a question mark. So there is a risk in this factor. So lower safety for lenders, as a business depends largely on outside loans for its existence. So this is a risk kind of a thing. This is a risk for the debt providers. I'm sure that you are able to follow what I'm trying to say. So it is a safety margin available for lenders for long term debts. So it's like a collateral for them. Okay, if they can have a secured kind of environment if you have some assets secured to the debt. Okay, so we will discuss one problem. Question number 1. Shareholders fund is 1,60,000. Current liability is 40,000. Total debts is 3,60,000. Calculate total assets to debt ratio. Now total assets to debt ratio, you should always remember this formula. You should write this formula: total assets divided by long term debts. Long term debts. Now total assets, what is total assets? Is it given directly in the question? The answer is no. So what we are supposed to do is, we need to find out what is the total assets. So total assets, it's not given directly, so we have to find it. So total assets, if you follow the balance sheet side, you will have the liabilities that will be equal to your assets. Okay, so we are going to follow this approach. Liabilities that will be equal to your assets. So total assets is 1,60,000. Shareholders fund, obviously it is a liability. You have total debts. Total debts include current liability. So we will take 3,60,000 only, divided by long term debts. Total debts 3,60,000 minus current liability 40,000 is what we are going to get. So 3,60,000 plus 1,60,000, 4,60,000 plus, so it is 5,20,000. divided by 1,60,000 plus 3,60,000 is 5,20,000 divided by 3,20,000, because 3,60,000 minus 40,000 is 3,20,000. So the answer is 1.625:1. So this is your total assets divided by long term debts. So long term debts is less than the total assets. It is more. It is okay kind of an environment. It is a favorable kind of an environment. Okay, always remember that long term debts should be less than your total assets. Okay, the next problem, calculate total assets to debt ratio from the following information: total assets, total debts, creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, everything is given. Now debt total assets to debt ratio means total assets divided by long term debt. So total assets, it is given 15 lakhs. What is long term debts? Long term debts means total debts minus all current liabilities. Now you have to add all these current liabilities: 90,000, 60,000, 50,000. Bank overdraft is also a current liability, 20,000. So you get 2,20,000. Now what is your total debts? 12 lakhs. Now if you minus 12 lakhs, that is 2,20,000 from 12 lakhs, you will be getting 9,80,000. So 15 lakhs divided by 9,80,000 will be 1.53:1. Now total debts is 9,80,000, that is long term total debts 9,80,000, and total assets is 15 lakhs. So you get 1.53:1.